Two. Hello, hello, hello. This is Emily Leach and founder of the Freelance Conference. I'm here today with Jennifer Bourn of Bourn Creative. Thank you so much for giving us some of your time.
Thanks for having me.
This is going to be a crazy awesome conversation. We're going to go through sort of our standard. We're going to find out a little bit about you. We're going to dive into your business because that's pretty cool too. And then we're going to chat about what we're going to be doing at the conference together. But before all that, I'm going to run over, I don't know about you, but I'm going to run over to the Freelance Conference page on Facebook, and I'm going to share this out to my page. So if you guys are out there online with us and you are live, then why don't you do the same? Go out to Freelance Conference, find this live video. You have to do a refresh and share it over to your live page or your Facebook page, and that would be absolutely awesome. And here it is. I'm not finding it. Where did it go? Well, maybe we're not as live as I thought. And I don't want to take too much.
We're live. It's just down the page a little bit.
Is it? Okay. I didn't go down far. My impatience got the best of me. Imagine that. Oh, there it is. Okay, so let me share this super fast. I'm just going to do share now public, be done. All right. So those of you guys that are on watching us, I know we have a few. Feel free to put questions or comments or something along the side, and I'll do my best to get to those as well. But I want to dive right in, Jennifer, because we only set aside like 15-ish minutes for this, and I don't want to waste it. So I was doing a little bit of cyber stalking, I have to admit, on you, and I love WordCamp, so I was kind of involved a little bit in the WordCamp Phoenix when I lived out in Albuquerque. I know that doesn't sound quite right, but I did a lot of work out in Phoenix. So what got you involved into WordCamp? What is it that intrigues you about that particular event?
Well, I think that, WordPress in general is a really community-oriented software. It's open source. It's got all of, this huge community around it of people. And I think as you get into WordPress in general, you meet other people that do the same thing that you do, but are at different points in their journey. And Brian and I, either one of us wouldn't be where we are today without some of those people we met along the way that were willing to help when we needed help, to share code when we had questions, to jump on Skype and answer a question. Nobody got to where they are alone. And the WordPress community in general is really, really giving. And we love WordCamps. We've gone to WordCamps for years. And when it was time to finally bring one to Sacramento, we had to be part of it. We had to help bring that to our community as a way to kind of pay it forward and give back. We got to where we are with the help of others in the community, and now hopefully by bringing in WordCamp and helping others, that they're going to continue that and continue that and continue that to pay it forward. So WordCamp Sacramento is just our little way of giving back to that community and helping others achieve success as well.
I find that to be somewhat of a common strand between the people that I consider, kick-ass humans or, just really amazing humans, is that we sort of do this thing where it's like, oh, I want this. Either I'm going to create it or I'm going to reach out and give some of my time, which is crazy valuable to us, and help bring it to life. So thanks.
Yeah, we enjoy it. We do the monthly meetup here as well. So, you might not get financial benefits from all this volunteerism, but you get so much more, I think, in just building community and building, a network of people that you not only enjoy, but you can learn and grow together. So we really, really enjoy it.
There's so many paybacks that are, I don't know, is tertiary the right word? That you can't really pinpoint until you get into the middle of it. And I've seen a lot of people go to volunteer for something, whether it's an event or a cause, and they get, one or two meetings in, and it's like, oh, this is too much of your time, too much of my time. And sometimes maybe it's not a good fit, and that's cool too. But it takes the dedication to kind of go all the way through to create the relationships that are going to give you that payback that we all talk about when building, like you said, community and or events. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So let's talk a minute real quick about your company. You guys you've had a pretty interesting journey into your company. So if I were to give you 45 seconds, okay, a full 60, maybe 75.
Sure.
Give me that journey, because I know you had a little bit of a free fall. You definitely dove into this, but you guys came out and sort of smelling like a rose.
Well, I quit my full-time job in 2005 to start Bourn Creative because I was pregnant with my second child, and my husband, who at the time worked in the fire department, was like, I don't want to be daddy daycare for two all by myself. Like, don't people that do what you do it for themselves? I didn't know anybody who had done that before, and I was super, super nervous. So he kind of kicked my butt into making that leap, and so I did that in 2005, and for the first 5 years of my business, worked by myself in my business. And I had no idea what I'm doing. You're good at what you do, but you have no idea how to run a business. And things are really messy, and they are really ugly, and I needed help, and I wasn't quite sure where to go or what to do. And at the same time, Brian was looking for a career change, and we ended up doing kind of two things all at one time: systematizing and automating everything we possibly could in the business to free up my time, because I was working 16 to 18-hour days. So we automated everything as humanly possible first, while Brian kind of engineered a whole career change and went from fire captain to software developer. And it took him 5 years to make the transition,
yeah,
but
they're not real closely related. Just
not at all. Not at all. It took him 5 years to get from, I think this is what I'm going to do, to I quit the fire department completely, I'm out, and now I'm full-time freelancing with me, or running Bourn Creative. So we have a full-service design and development agency. Brian's the boss, so I totally hired my husband to be my boss. Which is sometimes good and sometimes not. It's not always unicorns and roses. We have our tough days, but we do every bit of design for clients, from branding to print to web, and then we do a lot of engineering. We're actually probably more heavy on the development and engineering these days, because I'm expanding into some other things. I have a personal blog called Inspired Imperfection, where I blog about all our family stuff and our recipes, and me trying to eat healthier. And I'm just getting ready to launch JenniferBourn.com soon, but Brian's holding the keys and he won't give them to me until I update our portfolio.
Well, and I also see a certain little, what was it, project management thing that you're getting ready to launch that you seem to have left out of that little list.
It's brand new. So I was drowning in business for a long time. And it was like, if I focused on doing the work people hired me for, then I didn't have time to follow up on leads, and I was losing business because I didn't have time to even call somebody back. And if I focused on calling people back, I had so much work, I didn't have enough time to get it done. And it was so challenging. And creating systems to automate the majority of all of that client management for me changed everything. And I shared with you before this, when we were chatting, that we just got back from 9 days in Chicago, and we're getting ready for a 9-day road trip. And we were at a music festival this weekend, and we were in San Diego for a week earlier this summer, and we're traveling, and we're able to do all that because we automated. So all of that, because we have those systems in place, our business and our client projects all move forward, and deliverables keep getting done while we're gone, without us having to be sitting behind our computer. And people have asked me to sell this for like 5 years, and I've always said no. I'm like, this is my secret sauce. I spent hundreds of hours testing and creating this. No effing way am I giving it to you. No. And
but I'll sell it to you.
But I'm finally, I think, we're finally at a really, really great point where our business is running really smoothly. It's really incredible, and we're growing and evolving, and I'm kind of pursuing some personal projects and things, and it was just time to share that with people. So it's profitableprojectplan.com, and it's every single email resource thing that I created in my business to automate our business, to teach to another person who does the same thing I do, but just doesn't have the freedom I do yet.
But they will, and they can. It's funny. I just did a recording this morning for some stuff, and that was one of the things that I really hit on, is that learning the business side of it is what gave me success in freelancing.
Yeah.
And I made the statement. I said, and it'll do the same for you. And until you understand and learn the business side, this is what you alluded to earlier even, then I don't know what processes and systems to even build and put in place. And some of it's trial and error, and I'm sure you went through that. It's like, oh, that email didn't work out so well. Maybe it's the tone. Maybe I missed something completely or like that. So having put all that time in it, that's amazing. Kudos.
It's it has been a life changer for our whole family, for even our kids. It's been a life changer because it's freed up our time to be able to have a business that's really successful and to do something that we really enjoy, but also have time to go on all these adventures and do all these crazy things with our kids while they still want to hang out with us.
And that's why a lot of freelancers get into the freelance business model, is because they see the U's and the I's out there taking trips and enjoying our lives. And they're like, wait, I'm working 18 hours a day. How the heck do I go on a trip?
That was me. I was like, I started my business to have more time with my family and more time with my friends, yet I'm working so much that I'm alienating my friends and I'm pissing off my family. And I'm not spending any time with my kids.
Yeah, time with my kids has turned into sit over there and play with your Legos. Just 5 more minutes. 5 more minutes.
I know.
I can remember 5 more minuting my day away with my son. It's like just until I figured it out. Yeah.
The good thing is you can figure it out with the right tools and resources.
Right. It's learnable.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is perfect segue right into what you and I are going to be doing. And I sort of gave it this fun little name. Turns out that maybe it's not so fun, of freelance success hacks. So Jennifer, you and I are going to get on stage at the freelance conference, and I'm so excited about this. We're just going to sit down, get cozy in a couple chairs, and we're going to share some of these awesome secrets. We may even just have a little drink.
I'm all for that.
I mean, come on, we're freelancers. I mean, I have to look at what time I put it on during the day. If it's 9 o'clock in the morning, we'll go for mimosas, but I don't think I made it that early. And, just start to share what it is, some of these details like you just shared. What are some of the top level details that we addressed in our business that made the biggest difference? Right?
They're big. They are. Well,
I guess we're done.
No, I think that it's easy when you're in the weeds of growing a business and trying to get things off the ground and doing all the work and doing all of the admin. And, you're responsible for everything, that you want to make a change, but everything seems hard. Or it seems like everything is big and it's going to take so long. And where am I going to find the time to do that? Where am I going to carve out? I'm already working 16 hours a day. It's like when my husband's like, you should go to the gym. I'm like, I'm already working 16 hours a day. I don't want to see my baby.
I get that same one.
I'm going to do that. So, so you look at it as all of these things feel really big and they feel really hard, or they feel like they're going to take so much time that you're not quite sure how you're going to get there. But the key is to start breaking it down into smaller pieces, into doable, achievable pieces that you can have a whole bunch of little wins that over time ends up being a really, really big game changer in your business. And that's what I had to do. Like I want everything all at one time. Like I have the big picture and I want to do the big picture all at one time, right? I don't want to do anything little. I'm like, I want everything right now. But then you end up doing nothing, or you delay and delay and delay. Yes,
because that's what I do. I end up diving in and doing it until I'm burnout on it, because now I can see that all the other stuff isn't getting done. So I'm like going, so this gets set over here. And then, 5 years later, I go, that probably would have been a really great idea. But just like you said, I've found little this, little that in different places and pull them together. So what I love about the conference is it's an opportunity to take, again, people like ourselves and bring them together. I call them some of the brightest minds that we have in freelancing each year, and pull out of us, what are those little tidbits that we learned that made such a huge difference in our freelance lives, our freelance businesses.
Yeah, because I think a lot of times they're not as big as you think they are. You don't have to take as big of a step as you think. Sometimes it's just the littlest pivots and tweaks that make an amazing difference in the leads you're generating, or the clients you're closing, or your own well-being during the day. Sometimes it's just that little tiny tweak instead of a big giant leap. And it's just seeing, I think, the value of these conferences is you get these glimpses into other people's stories that they may be similar to yours or they may be totally different, but the steps they're taking are similar to the ones that you might be taking. So you get these little glimpses that you can pick and choose and say, I'm going to implement this one thing and it's going to change, it has the potential to change everything. And I think that's, the power of going to live events is you not only get to talk to people in the room about things and flush it all out while you're there, but you get all these little glimpses into possibilities to be able to see what could be for you if you just took a little bit of action when you got back.
Yes. And you can also ask questions. You're like, okay, wait a minute. I heard you just say that you use this app. Why? How? And then the person breaks out their phone and says, here's how I used it. Look, I did this and I did, and you can see it. You can watch every friggin' demo in the world on site and on the websites, but they play their part, right? They can't create a demo for absolutely everything. And so you're absolutely right. Being live in person and be able to make those connections and then see the way that they're using it and go, my lifestyle just isn't that. Maybe that's not the app for me, or maybe that's not the strategy for me, or something like that. And a lot of people think that I have to go buy into a whole bunch of apps to automate and manage my freelance conference. And I used to make this joke a lot, and I guess I still do some, but I spent so many years in search engine optimization. And I got to tell you, those people are cheapskates. And so you learn how to do a lot of stuff without having to buy a bunch of platforms and stuff like that. And so that's why I like teaching people, especially newer freelancers. It's like, don't go spend a whole bunch of money on stuff until you have to.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing that when we first automated all of our systems, we didn't have all the choices that there are today. There were all of these different platforms for all of this different automation. There was like 2. There were only a couple, and some of them were awful. They were terrible.
Were all awful. Let's be
we ended up buying into an email marketing software, and then people would be like, "Oh, you use this? How do you use it?" And I'm like, "Well, I don't really use it for email marketing. We use it to automate internal email management with clients." And they're like, "What?" And it was mind blowing. I ended up speaking at an event just to talk about how we've used their software completely how they have unintended it being used, but it's
awesome.
It kind of opened people up to thinking, wait a second, I never in a million years thought of using it backwards. They thought I was using it backwards, but it created so much freedom for us, and I wasn't using it at all how it was intended to be used by the people that built it or by the people that sell it and market it. So sometimes it's just a matter of looking at, they might be using the same software as you, but they may be using it for something completely different.
Wow, because you just kind of blew my mind. I mean, it didn't even dawn on me like that. So those of you guys that are watching, we're actually over time, but it was worth it, especially to get that last little piece. So I cannot wait to dive into that more on the stage at Freelance Conference and see how exactly did she use that different, and so that we can learn from her, because she's done some really, really cool, amazing stuff to allow her to travel all over the place and be a mom, be a parent, be present with her kids and stuff like that. So again, thank you so much for giving us some of your time and your wisdom and brilliance today. It was
fun. Thanks.
So those of you guys out there, the Freelance Conference is coming up September 8th and 9th. We have a bonus day of content on the 7th if you are in Austin that day at no additional charge. So go to freelanceconference.com. Go ahead and grab your ticket. Right now it is $303 for everything. Awards ceremony, kickoff party.
That's
everything.
Awesome.
I know. So I cannot stand to go to an event and I have to buy a ticket, and then I buy a ticket to this and buy a ticket to that, and that includes parking. So if you're coming in from out of town, it doesn't include where you're staying, but come on, let's be real. But we do have a really great rate at a hotel just within 2 miles away, and they'll even pick you up from the airport. They'll bring you to the event space, take you back, so you don't even have to rent a car if you're coming in from out of town. So it's pretty awesome.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. All right, guys, that's it for this interview. Thank you so much for showing up, for listening, and I'm sure you are excited as I am to see Jennifer on stage in September. Bye.